5-1 Okotoks in their home opener in front of the visiting Lethbridge Bulls. Going to the bottom half of the 5th inning. Lethbridge has now committed 11 errors as a team, and tough bounce for second baseman Joey Underwood, and you see the welt underneath his eye. Wow. Upon further examination, maybe that should have been scored a hit. I thought he kind of juggled it up in his shoulder area. It didn't look like it went right near his eye.
Yeah, it looked like, I thought in real time it had skipped off his glove and hit him up high. I didn't realize that it caught him up under the eye, icing it right now to keep the swelling down.
Product of Fredericton. Yes, with a little ice. Ryland Chin hits that hard. Rhodes back to the track and makes a fine play. Zach Rhodes takes a hit away and an extra base hit away from second baseman Ryland Chin.
I think the wind also helped take an extra base, possibly home run away from Ryland Chin. It hung up there a little bit, allowed Rhodes to get under it. Chin knew he hit that ball hard. He knew that one had a chance to either go off the wall or over the wall. And the wind might have held it up a little bit. Hey, great pursuit by Rhodes to go get it. And he had to run a fair ways to do that, but that might have been a bit wind aided.
You wonder if that doesn't leave the yard on a regular night. Zach Asman way out in front of the breaking ball from Chris Walker. Walker surrendered 4 hits and 4 runs in the bottom half of the first, but has really settled down since. He's only given up 1 hit, and that was the home run as he strikes out Asman swinging for the second out of the bottom of the 5th since that first inning.
Yeah, he really utilizing the breaking pitch on that at bat and threw it well. As it's halfway to home plate, it looks like it's going to come right over the plate and then just drifts away from the batter, giving him no opportunity to even foul it off.
An RBI single and a strikeout the night so far for Jordan Procession. Plays at Northeastern Junior College in the fall and spring. And takes a strike from Chris Walker.
From Okotoks here. Got a pretty good round of applause when they were doing the introductions before.
Raised in Calgary, but his family has moved out here the last couple of years.
Your attention, please.
Okotoks, in case you're wondering, a suburb of Calgary. And seeing that we're mostly being shown in southern Alberta, most of our viewers would be familiar. Underwood on the bench, tending to a sore eye area, which means there's a new second baseman. And I believe it is Ridge Gonsolin, another player who toils his trade at LSU Shreveport. And he enters the game for Underwood. The batter Procession. 2 outs. Another strikeout for Chris Walker. He's settled down in a big way. Another 1-2-3 inning. 5-1 through 5 here in Okotoks. Alex Graham, very impressive in his 5 innings of work, and gives way to Trent Wilson, the 6'2", 175-pound right-hander out of Desert Vista, Arizona, a sophomore at Chandler Gilbert Community College, a pipeline of sorts to these Okotoks Dawgs. Several of their players performing at that time of the year at the Arizona College. His second appearance of the year. We saw him for 1 inning on Friday night in the season opener and the win in Medicine Hat in that 1 inning of work. Wilson did not give up a run, 2 hits, and ended up with the save. Remember, the bases were loaded.
Yeah.
6-5 in that game going to the 9th, and he enticed C.J. Dedeaux to end the game with a fly out to the right fielder, Jared Bartnick.
Yeah, it was a pressure situation. You had to pitch out of the jam, and he did it. It's only appearance so far this year.
Having words with Jordan Procession, Andrew Nist, his college teammate, caught him on Friday night. The line, do you have it for me on Mr. Graham? And it's an impressive one.
It is. 5 innings pitched. He gave up 4 hits, 1 run, walked 1 guy, and struck out 6. It's a good day.
Not bad for a guy who just found out this morning that he was going to be in that role. Corey Wood, first pitch from Wilson, popped up to center, and no trouble for Zach Aspen.
Well, Wood wasn't going to sit there and watch 4 or 5 pitches from Wilson. Figured if he grooved one down the middle and was trying to get ahead in the count, he's going to take a cut at it, and took a good cut at it, but just got under it.
Joel Blake, how do you get this guy out?
They haven't figured it out yet.
2 for 2 on the night, 5 of his last 6, 11 for 17 early in the season. Blake from Langley, British Columbia, in his 3rd year with the Bulls. The catcher, a versatile player, professional player with the Wanneroo Giants of the Australian State League.
That had to be an incredible experience.
Where he hit .386 in 21 games. They didn't get him out there very much either.
Sure didn't. Real gritty player. He's got leadership qualities. Your captain type of guy.
Graduated from South Dakota State. And Wilson bounces one up, blocked by Procession. As the count goes to 2-2 on Joel Blake, who's 2 for 2. Including an RBI single to bring home the Bulls' only run in the 3rd. And Trent Wilson, I think, finally got Blake out. Chin deals with a high pop-up, and Blake's not used to picking up a bat and going back to the dugout.
Well, it's the pitch that he wanted. He got under it. And Wilson put one over for him to let him drive one, but got underneath. And it's good work by Chin to stay with that. Again, the wind blowing that thing around. The higher it goes up, the harder it is to catch.
Sawyer chops one to the Lethbridge manager, Scott Rhodes.
Good hands.
Rhodes wasn't exactly delighted about the weather.
He's from New Mexico.
Alamogordo, New Mexico, which, by the way, translated to English means fat tree.
Fat tree?
Yes. Alamogordo is a Spanish word. And he told me yesterday when I visited with him in Medicine, translation, fat tree. Translation for Trent Wilson, pretty good. 3 up, 3 down in his first inning of work. It remains 5-1 Okotoks. Chris Walker to start the bottom of the 6th has given up only 1 run and 1 hit since a rough bottom of the 1st in which he surrendered 4 runs on 4 hits. Slated to face John Apostolo, Stetson Olson, who has that lone hit since the 1st. It was a solo home run in his last at-bat in the 4th. And Jared Bartnick, the right fielder, due up as well in the bottom of the 6th.
Yeah, Walker's really settled in well. He's starting to work in more curveballs. and throwing them very well.
Apostolo has made a difference in the game in the first inning. That 2 RBI double to left center that I thought was going to clear the bags, but they ended up holding Procession at third.
Struck out last time up.
The 0-1 curveball is on the inside half for strike 2. And Walker has really helped himself in the last few innings by getting ahead of hitters quickly, as he is right now against Apostolo. Another strikeout, 7th of the game for Walker, and 3rd consecutive, in fact.
Again, using the curveball. Early in the game, didn't use it as much. He's really found the groove with it now, and it's a sharp break. And for the right-handed hitter, it's difficult because it's going away from him and out of the zone. A real tough pitch to hit.
And that one was the 12-6.
Yeah.
Stetson Olsen, towering home run in the 4th that just stayed fair. On the ground this time, and the out recorded by Jeremy Fagnan at first base. And 2 quick outs for Walker and the Bulls here in the bottom half of the 6th inning.
Well, Olsen with the same type of swing, very much a home run swing, but just over top of it. Fagnan staying down on the ball and making an unassisted play.
Jared Bartnick responsible for the 4th run in the bottom of the 1st inning on a sacrifice fly, and then flew out to Zach Rhodes back in the 4th in left field. Bartnick was a freshman at UBC. Pops this up, giving chases Rhodes again, and he'll get there. Pretty good running catch from left fielder Zach Rhodes, and a 1-2-3 bottom of the 6th as this game starts to move along at a pretty nice clip.
Great hustle by Rhodes. He's made a couple of big plays out there in left field and has had to show a ton of hustle. He had a long ways to go, and that thing was held up in the wind and starting to drift a little bit left and kept going like it was going to go almost to the shale. But Rhodes stayed with it and got to it. And that was an outstanding effort by Rhodes. He's played extremely well in left field tonight.
Another Rhodes. Scott is with our Dave Dawson.
Thanks, guys. Scott, how would you assess your team's play so far this evening, despite the slow start?
Yeah, well, despite the slow start, we're doing all right. They ran into some balls there. I mean, the pitcher did what he was supposed to, get us, he's hitting bats. We got excited about that. They just hit the holes. So we eliminate that first inning and be a heck of a ball game right now. So.
What can you say about Walker, who really seems to have turned it on in the last few innings?
Yeah, he just did a great job for us. And then that's what he does. He's a strike thrower. I mean, he's not too wild. So pretty excited about his outing. So we'll head to the bullpen now.
Thanks for doing this. Best of luck the rest of the way.
You bet. Thank you.
Peter?
This game has really taken on the same type of storyline of the game I saw in Medicine Hat last night when 5-0 was the score against Lethbridge after 1. Here's the damage that Okotoks did early tonight.
Well, he was throwing strikes, and we talked about it earlier in the game. He's throwing the ball over. They just happen to be hitting some holes and maybe getting some pretty good wood on a few. The first 4 batters for the Dawgs come around to score in that first inning. Pollock, Chin, Asman, and Procession. And then the big shot by Stetson. Olsen with a huge monster blast there in the 4th inning. Hard blast by Stetson Olsen, but the Dawgs making Lethbridge pay early, but good work by the pitcher, Chris Walker. Settles down and was able to stop the bleeding.
Trent Wilson in his 2nd inning of relief. Alex Graham, 5 excellent innings for the Dawgs, is a surprise starter. Wilson a 1-2-3-6 as he deals with first baseman Jeremy Fagnan to lead off the top of the 7th. Wilson, the right-hander out of Desert Vista, California. or Desert Vista, Arizona. My apologies. And a breaking ball that just missed to run the count to 2-2. Another product of Chandler Gilbert Community College is the pitcher Wilson. As the count runs full on Fagnan. 46 2/3 innings of work at Chandler Gilbert, a 4.24 ERA, and a 1-4 record for Wilson. And a strikeout as Fagnan chased one. He'd like to have that back.
Yeah, he swung at ball 4 there. Wilson just leaving one up and away, and Fagnan was really primed up to make something happen, start the inning off well, and get on base. And thought maybe that one was the one, but would have been tough to do something with that pitch.
Second strikeout for Wilson in relief of Graham as Dale Anderson fouled that first pitch away. Anderson trying to snap out of a 0 for 9 rut that he finds himself in. 0 for 10 actually, is some work being done in the bullpen. That's Jerry Lawrence, the right-hander from Benton, Louisiana. Another player who performed at LSU Shreveport this spring.
Real pipeline there for Lethbridge, utilizing that school. And you see that in the WMBL, where a team will get a relationship with a college in the U.S. and lots of players will come through that college up to a team here in this league.
Wonder if he will work the bottom of this 7th inning. Wilson, good overhand curve that fools Anderson.
They just froze him with that pitch. The sign of a real solid curveball when you can drop that one in there, and that is not what Anderson expected. Not the pitch he thought it was going to be, and a very good one by Wilson. You got to tip your hat to the pitcher when he can make a pitch like that.
At Chandler Gilbert, 45 strikeouts, just 11 walks in those 46 2/3 innings of work. And the first Western Major Baseball League at bat on the topic of LSU Shreveport for Ridge Gonsolin. Got off an airplane about 4 hours ago on the ground to Wilson. 1, 2, 3. Becoming far too commonplace for the Bulls. You're watching the Western Major Baseball League on Shaw. Starting pitcher Chris Walker here at Siemens Stadium gives way to the reliever Jerry Lawrence. And Lawrence, yes, from Benton, Louisiana, has made 1 appearance so far. He pitched in a 7-1 loss in Medicine Hat to the Mavericks on Sunday, and it was a tough Western Major Baseball League debut. Gave up 3 runs, did not record an out, and walked a pair of batters.
We'll be looking to improve on those numbers. And speaking of numbers, Chris Walker, the starter here today, goes 6 innings, gives up 5 hits, and 5 runs against, but strikes out 7, doesn't walk any, and there was a couple of errors in behind him that led to a few runs. But overall, I mean, after a tough start for Walker, he battled right back, settled in, and continued to throw strikes and continued to get guys out after giving up a few runs early. I thought he pitched very well.
Been a very even game since the bottom of the first. The problem is there was a bottom of the first. Not a problem if you're the team batting. Okotoks trying to run their early season record to 3-1. Austin Voros to lead off the bottom of the 7th. He is grounded out twice in the game to third baseman Jesse Sawyer. Voros went 2 for 6 in the first round playoff series against these Lethbridge Bulls, won by the Dawgs in 4 games last season. 2012 Heartland Conference All-Star has a base hit. He'll round first. Thought about going to second, but with Zach Rhodes, the left fielder, getting to the ball in a hurry, he'll make the turn and head back to first with a leadoff single.
Well, an outside pitch, and Voros does a great job with that outside pitch. You want to go the other way if you can, and it lays it down the third base line. He took a healthy turn around one. He thought about second. You're right, Peter. He wanted that a 2-bagger.
Brings to the plate the shortstop, Thomas Rodriguez, reached on an error in the 4th and struck out and attempts to lay down a bunt. And fouled it back to the catcher, Joel Blake, for a strike. And the new pitcher, Jerry Lawrence, unfortunately, still looking to manufacture his first registered out in the Western Major Baseball League. Just missed that time. 6'3", 205. The right-hander. Voros hit first, the leadoff single. And a throw over from Lawrence. 4 Okotoks runs on 4 hits in the bottom of the 1st. The key to this night. Hit and run that time as Voros was on the move, but it's pulled foul by Rodriguez.
Rodriguez trying to go through that hole on the right side of the infield. Unfortunately got a little bit too far around on that one.
Rodriguez, a .266 average and 20 runs batted in at Niagara University in Buffalo this spring. The Purple Eagles of Niagara University, an NCAA Division I school.
Interesting names out there.
There are many. As I've learned in my research, Voros on his way, and he is thrown out. Joel Blake with a strike to throw out the attempted steal of Austin Voros.
Well, Blake kept it at least around his feet. Like it's down in the dirt, and maybe a bit of a late jump from Voros. Realizing it was in his feet, unfortunately, it wasn't very far from him, and a good throw by Blake.
Second strikeout of the game for Rodriguez, and the first out registered by the pitcher, Jerry Lawrence. Maybe the throw down to get Voros helped his confidence. Tyler Hollick.
It's amazing how quick it can change, hey? You got a guy on, hasn't got a guy out yet. Next thing you know, 2 out.
That's how the game works.
Well, beauty of it.
Tyler Hollick 1 for 3 with a base hit and a run scored. And will this be the last at-bat as a member of the Okotoks Dawgs?
Could very well be.
Could be. Still lots of game left. Pollock, an All-American at the junior college, Chandler Gilbert Community College in Arizona. Just drafted yesterday in the 14th round by the San Francisco Giants. Came into the night batting a tidy .375. And loves this program. You heard it earlier in the game. A poster child for the program, according to Dawgs manager Brandon Newell.
Good work by Hollick to work this count to full after being down 0-2, not biting on some off-speed pitches, some breaking pitches that were almost nibbling the zone.
Doesn't give up many outs. To Hopper, to Gonsolin, the second baseman, and Lawrence. with a good inning of work in relief of Walker. The difference is 4 as we're heading to the top of the 8th inning. Okotoks in their home opener with a 4-run advantage. (5-1), the Okotoks Dawgs lead in their home opener. What year did the Dawgs begin playing right here at beautiful Siemens Stadium in the town of Okotoks? The answer is 2007. And in that first year, you know what the Dawgs did? They won the Western Major Baseball League title, their first of 3 in a row through 2009. And they'd like to capture the crown again in 2012 after losing the league final to the Regina Red Sox, the 6-0 Regina Red Sox coming into tonight.
Yeah, they're running roughshod out east right now, picking up right where they left off last season.
Brenton Guthrow from Calgary, former Okotoks Dog, leads it off. Trent Wilson on the ground to Apostolo, the third baseman, with a strong throw across the diamond to get Guthrow. And Guthrow 0 for 3 in the ball game.
Good gun there by Apostolo. Hey, that's a tough play. He takes the big swing, doesn't get much of it. It's almost a swinging bunt. Apostolo has to really set his feet, and he's got to throw a perfect strike across the diamond, and he does it.
Bartel on 2 hops, handled by Stetson Olson. And how about the relief work of Trent Wilson? He's faced 8, he's retired 8. Coming on in relief of starter Alex Graham.
Is he throwing 3 pitches this inning? He's got 2 outs.
Zach Rhodes has not been easy for anyone to get out. He's 2 for 3 in this ball game. He did strike out in his last appearance to end the top of the 5th. Has 10 hits in 20 appearances at the plate this season. A tidy .500 batting average for the left fielder out of South Dakota State. From Champion, Alberta, is Zach Rhodes. And Wilson, you can just see the confidence.
Yeah, he's cruising now.
1 run, 4 hits, and they've committed 2 errors, the Bulls. The Dawgs 5 runs on 6 hits, and they have not committed an error. Wilson with a little giddy up that time on the fastball, but it was high for ball 3.
Hasn't been in many 3-1 counts today.
No, not when you've faced 8 and sat down 8. Here's the 3-1 to Rhodes. Pulled to Olson. He'll make the play, and Wilson, 3 innings of work. He has been, in one word, perfect. 7.5 in the books. It remains 5-1. Great facility, patios, terrific concessions. I've said it many times on the air. The first time I drove around the turn here in Okotoks and saw this ballpark about, I guess what would have been in the summer of 2008, when I watched the Canadian national junior team play the United States national junior team in preparation for the World Junior Championships that summer in Edmonton. I almost drove off the road.
Well, it's amazing.
That's how impressed I was, and I really still get the same feeling every time I come to Siemens Stadium since then.
If you can't have fun here, you're doing it wrong.
Beautiful, beautiful facility. Ryland Chin, a slow breaking ball and a good one from reliever Jerry Lawrence in his 2nd inning of work after taking over from Chris Walker. Walker went 6 innings. And take away a tough bottom of the 1st, and we'd be staring at a 2-1 or a 1-1 ball game here in the 8th.
And that's really, that's the difference. Lethbridge has played a good game here today, as have the Dawgs. Just a start that didn't go the Bulls' way. A few balls that found their way through. You know, your C&I singles, and it added up as they were able to string a few of those in a row. But Bulls have played a pretty good game here too.
Ryland Chin flies towards the center fielder, Guthrow, and he camps under it to retire Chin. Chin now 1 for 4 in the ball game, the Strathmore native.
Boy, that hung up there. Guthrow had to go a long way. He wasn't far from the shortstop by the time he caught the ball. The ball's been hanging up there. Like, the wind's died down now compared to what it was at the start of the game, but still hung up there pretty good.
Yes, the flags are not blowing out in left field the way they were for about the first 5 innings. Zach Assman, Gonsolin knocks it down and he'll make the play. Gonsolin took over from the injured Joey Underwood a couple of innings ago, and Assman's in some difficulty after grounding out.
Yeah, I heard something on that one. Gonsolin who knocked it down, and then he had to hurry that throw, but
tried to stretch it out, to beat it out, and hurt himself.
and I don't know if that was on the stretch, if it was a muscle, or if it was on the foot. I think it was on the foot.
Receiving some attention is Procession. Fouls that away.
Either the foot on the bag, or he got a bit of Jeremy Fagnan's cleat on his foot. Either or.
Procession with an RBI in that 4-run bottom of the first. As a matter of fact, he cashed in the first run of the game. Procession for the night. 1 for 3 with a run batted in and a couple of strikeouts. Lifts this to right, and the out is made. A lot of 1, 2, 3 innings. To the top of the 9th we go, and Lethbridge down to its last at bat, and they have some work to do. They trail it by 4.
Well, from what it sounds like, Zach Assman may have rolled his ankle on the bag as he was crossing by there and talking to the training staff. As you can see, he's being helped off into the dressing room area by the coaching staff. Left cleat is off. His entire foot is completely red. Had an ice pack right around it. So does not look good for Zach Assman, guys.
Not at all, if those pictures were any indication. And here's the play that led to the injury. Zach Assman, in his first year as an Okotoks Dawg, out of Northern Kentucky University and a product of Cincinnati, Ohio. And an opening night he'll never forget in this league, with the run-scoring double and then the game-winning 2-run homer in the 9th in a 6-5 triumph to start the season Friday night in Medicine Hat. Corey Wood to start this top of the 9th. Procession comes back to take a look, but it's out of play. Trent Wilson in his 4th inning of relief, and he's been perfect. Faced 9 batters and retired 9. The new center fielder is Calgary product James Stewart.
He's got 2 on fly balls, 3 strikeouts, 4 ground balls. Make it 5.
Juggled by Chin, but records the out. This game did not start until about 7:35. It is now 9:21 by my count, and we're 2 outs away.
They're ripping through this thing.
You do not attend many games that require less than 2 hours to play 9 innings.
That says something about the pitching in this game, both ways. Both sides have pitched well.
This guy has done nothing but hit well. Has 2 more hits in the ball game. He's 2 for 3 on the ground to Rodriguez. The throw high, but Olsen makes the play for the second out.
Had to go up and down to get it though for Stetson Olsen as that throw by Rodriguez sailed up a little bit. Rodriguez has got a tremendous arm at short. That was a bullet of a throw.
It was. So the last breath held by Jesse Sawyer, who's 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. The power hitting third baseman. Fastball inside for a ball. Alex Graham, terrific 5 innings, and Wilson's been perfect. And of course, as I say that, no, Rodriguez ranging and makes the play to end the game. 4 perfect innings of relief work for Trent Wilson. A great start from Alex Graham, and the Okotoks Dawgs have run their early season record to 3-1 with a 5-1 triumph over the now 2-3 Lethbridge Bulls, who suffer their 3rd straight setback. High fives all around here at Okotoks. Back with more when we return from Siemens Stadium after this timeout.
All right, here with player of the game, John Apostolo. And how was that for a home opener, the start you're looking for, I guess, right?
Yeah, that was good. Yeah, I had a first good inning, nice shot in the gap. You know, felt good. So, yeah.
Was that the kind of start you were expecting? I mean, you have all the emotion from the opening ceremonies.
Oh, yeah, I was expecting to get it right off the start. You know, we got a little rally going in the beginning, so I just want to continue that rally.
Pretty much a chess match the rest of the way, was it not?
Oh, yeah, it was a pitching duel pretty much for the rest of the game.
Walk me through the day today and the preparation for the game, getting the water off the field, the temperature tonight. How did that all impact the game?
Oh, yeah, we had to get here early, pretty early. We got to get all the rain off the field and everything like that. But the ceremony took a little while, you know, a half hour after game time supposed to start. But everything else went pretty good. Yeah.
Despite the long opening ceremonies, it's 9:30 and the game's over. Is that right up there with one of the quickest games you've been in before?
Oh, yeah, that was definitely a quick one, yeah.
It's a little bit cold game, but weather-wise, a little bit cooler tonight, obviously. How did that affect you guys at all? Did that make a difference?
Yeah, in the beginning, it's hard to get warmed up, especially after the ceremony. You know, you have to stand around, and then, you know, now next thing you know, you're playing a game. So, you know, it's hard to warm up and keep your hands loose. So.
All right, congrats on the win.
All right, thank you very much, sir.
Peter?
Thanks, Dave. John Apostolo with a key 2-run RBI double in the bottom of the 4th. And at the end of the day, as we revisit tonight's game story, you don't have to look much farther than what happened in the bottom half of the 1st inning.
Well, that was the difference. The Dawgs were able to get some hits, and not from a lack of effort from Lethbridge. It wasn't from lack of pitching either. It was just some really good hitting from the Dawgs, and then after that, these two teams were playing to a standstill. Defensively, teams played really well, and I thought both teams pitched extremely well.
Okotoks only managed 2 more hits in the game after 4 runs and 4 hits in the bottom half of the 1st, but it was more than enough. Graham and Wilson, wonderful on the mound for Okotoks. They're now 3-1. The Okotoks Dawgs, fresh off their 3rd win in their home opener, a 5-1 triumph over the visiting Lethbridge Bulls. A pitcher's delight if you're the Okotoks Dawgs. More to that in a second. Just one other game being played tonight in the Western Major Baseball League, and the Swift Current Indians have a 7-0 lead over the Moose Jaw Miller Express. That game, as you see, in Swift Current and in the bottom of the 8th. The combination of Alex Graham, who wasn't even supposed to start this game, and then Trent Wilson, 4 innings of dead perfect relief a big story.
Yeah, it really was. Alex Graham finds out this afternoon that he's got to start this game, and he established his strike zone early, and he got the curveball working, he had the fastball working, and what I really liked is he was moving it all around. He was nibbling the outside, he was busting it inside, he was using all parts of the plate, and then Trent Wilson comes in, he throws the ball real hard, worked a sharp curveball, and no one could really get good wood on it. I thought he was unbelievable coming in relief. I mean, when you get pitching like that, your chances of winning go up dramatically.
And the defense was pretty good. Okotoks with an excellent ERA and had played great defense in their first 3 games, and that trend continued, obviously, here tonight.
It sure did. And Thomas Rodriguez, I mean, he made a couple of plays late in the game, showing off that big arm he has at short, and guys in the outfield tracking down balls. Stetson Olsen had to make a big scoop on one to end off an inning, and not to mention he smacked a home run in his first game in the WMBL. So, I mean, they all had it going for Okotoks tonight.
My friend, it's been a ton of fun.
Let's do it again.
We will
all
on
right.
June 29th, in fact. A home opener. 5-1, the Okotoks Dawgs, in front of a great crowd on a breezy, cool night here in southern Alberta. 4 runs in the bottom of the first, and there's our next action on shot. Cam and I and Dave will have it for you from Smith Stadium in Lethbridge on Friday, June 29th, when the Mavericks and the Bulls continue their rivalry. Sunny, windy, the players were ready and put on a great show. It took about an hour and 48 minutes to play. And the Okotoks Dawgs, with 4 runs in the bottom of the first, received great pitching. For Cam Moon, Dave Dawson, our entire crew, thanks for joining us. So long from Okotoks.